Now, the district level elections will be held on December 17, and aspirants are already campaigning. Just notwithstanding, the interest in local level elections is still quite low compared to parliamentary and presidential elections. Participation is comparatively low by women. What can we do to whip up interest in local governance elections and get the right caliber of people to participate? At the base structure of the local government system and the root of Ghana's democracy, many still don't take this election seriously. I'm being joined in the studio by the National Commission for Civic Education's Director of Communication, Joyce Afutu, to talk about exactly what we can do to whip up this interest. Now, I know that, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
So I know that the district level elections are so key, like I said earlier. The interest is low. What's the NCCE doing?
Thank you very much for the question. The NCCE is engaging Ghanaians to understand that district level elections, they are critical because that is where development takes place at the local level. But over the years, turnout has been very low. With the recent one, 2015, 39%.
Very worrying.
Yes.
Do we know why?
I don't know why there's so much apathy. People believe in the national elections than the district level elections. But I must say that district level election is the most important election that people would have to participate in it, because the districts are in charge of the overall development of the district. So if you're unless the road is a national, the money involved is very huge. That should be done at the national level, like upgrading, providing infrastructure like markets, stores, pipe-borne, that's potable water, and other amenities that we need at the district level. It's the district assembly that does that, because they are given the common fund to undertake development in the districts. So people must rather be interested in the district level elections, because how many times will you find a president in your district? But out for the district chief executive is there, your representative, who is the assembly member that you have elected to represent you at the district level, the person is there. Unit committee members are also there to ensure that they assist the assembly staff and assembly member to ensure that the place is developed. They are all there. So people should rather be interested in the local level elections rather than the general elections.
So tell us again what you are doing to ensure that people are interested in this.
Yes, for the NCCE, we are engaging Ghanaians wherever they are. With respect to the 2019 district level elections and the national referendum, the NCCE, with support from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, we have undertaken a national launch, and all the 15 regions, they have also launched their activities, and now our staff are in the field working to get people wherever they can find people, be it in churches, be it at the marketplace, in the communities, wherever people are. And we are also using media, that's traditional media, radio and TV discussions, engagements in the community information centers. We are also undertaking social media campaign on our handles, and we are using our websites. So we are encouraging Ghanaians, and we are telling them that on the 17th of December, they are being called again to come and then elect assembly member for each electoral area.
Okay.
For unit committee members, we have to elect 5 for each unit in the electoral area.
And that's where we don't even get people to stand.
Yes, people don't contest, and where there are people, we are asking that, yes, vote for them to represent you at the unit level.
Could it be because they are not paid?
For assembly members and unit, they are all not paid. In fact, the system in 1988, that's PNDC Law 207, I think it was based on voluntary basis, that people should come and assist their communities. So assembly members are not paid. They receive certain allowance when they go for assembly sitting and subcommittee meetings, and at the expiration of their 4-year term, they receive ex gratia before they leave. But for the unit committee members, they are not paid. And the assembly members.
So the question is it because of that we are not attracting the right quality of people to be in our assemblies?
I would say if you are patriotic, you don't need to get paid before you support your community. If you look at the duties of a citizen, every citizen, you are supposed to contribute to the well-being of your community. Because if there's an outbreak of any communicable disease in your area, before the president comes, you would have been affected. So it is very critical for people to show interest in the well-being of their communities.
But you have people who have the capacity to run for office of MP,
yes,
and you're asking them to be assembly members. when they look at the member of parliament and they are so incentivized to run for office there?
Yes, they are not. So not until, in fact, NCCE, we have reported several times that Assembly and Union Committee members be paid so that they can also show interest. Because you have an Assembly member in an electoral area, there are several communities in the electoral area. How does the person go and all that? But that hasn't been done yet. So once we are engaging policymakers on remunerating Assembly members, I think the status quo remains that they are not paid. So people are interested, should be voted for to represent their people at the
Do you
think
level? The position, the solution lies in making these people run on partisan lines? Some have said that political parties are so motivated to take part and sponsor these processes. So do you think that if we make them run on political lines, there will be more interest?
In fact, actually, that is the national referendum attached to this year's district level elections. So this year, people will be voting for three things. First, you vote for your assembly member, and then you vote for your 5 unit committee members, and then you vote on the issue of the national referendum. And the issue of the national referendum is to vote for the proposed amendments of Article 55, Clause 3. That article bars political parties from participating in local elections. So political parties cannot sponsor, as of now, cannot sponsor candidates to district level elections. They cannot campaign for them. And the Constitution says that if you are contesting for election at the district or local lower government unit, you need to come as an individual. And you are not supposed to use the colors or symbol or slogan of any political parties. So for the referendum issue, people will be asked that, are you in favor of the amendment of Article 55.3 to allow political party participation in local level elections? So if you are in favor, you vote yes.
Don't they
if you are not
already
in favor,
themselves
you vote.
in the elections?
In fact, it is undertone, as we all see, because some of the assembly members, you look at their poster and you know where they belong.
Yes, the colors show.
The colors
I mean, I walk around Kokomlemi and I know which ones run for NDC.
So how can if we think with the involvement of political parties to be okay for us, then we must so vote in a proposed amendment of Article 55.3. And
course,
that is yes.
Of course, you are not an enforcement agency, you're an education arm. But why aren't they barred from, undertaking, from involving themselves in political parties? Because it's like we haven't given the process a chance yet, right?
Yes, they are barred and they are not supposed to do that. But
is it enforced?
Yes, they are not supposed to do that, and it has to be enforced. Because you see the colors. Once you don't see the emblem of the political party, they are colors. So you can't say it belongs to this party or it belongs to that. That is the issue. And if you are not using, if you are not using their motto, they are not using any emblem and all that, and they are not supposed to sponsor them or campaign for them or to give them platform to campaign for the elections. So we are saying that if they are doing that, and people think that, oh, maybe because of low turnout and all that, if we bring political parties and they bring enthusiasm and all that, people will show interest in all that. So this is what the referendum issue is about.
Okay.
We get a lot of people thinking the referendum is the election of MMDCs. The referendum is for the amendments of Article 55.3 to allow political parties participation in local level elections.
So will that also result in people being able to elect MMDCEs? We all need that education now. Yes.
If after the amendment of Article 55.3 and we allow political parties participation, if you look at the Constitution, we have Article 243(1), and that one gives the President the power to appoint MMDCs. So currently, Parliament is working, the bill has been there for a long time. I'm sure they'll be passing it anytime soon. To change that Article 243(1) to allow
so that
citizens...
is not entrenched?
That is a non-entrenched provision. So the people's representatives, that's the parliamentarians, they can amend that. Is Article 55.3, which is entrenched, and it has to go through a referendum. The general public, all citizens, must come to decide whether they like it or not. So if you look at the constitutions, there are two forms of amendments: the entrenched and non-entrenched.
And the non-entrenched.
Entrenched provisions, we have to refer it to a referendum for the people of Ghana to decide. But non-entrenched, the people's representative can just amend. So if you look at the Dual Citizenship Act, it was amended way back in 1996, where Ghanaians can have dual citizenship. But if you look at the Constitution, it wasn't there, so it was done by Parliament. So when Parliament amends Article 243 Clause 1, then we'll take that power from the President of appointing MMDCs and we'll give it to the people to elect their own MMDCs.
On partisan lines.
On partisan lines. If we approve the proposed amendment of Article 55 Clause 3. And there are other consequential amendments. If you look at Article 242, and that one states the composition of the district assembly. Okay. And the president has an appointment there, that the 30% appointment to this assembly. So that one will be amended. And if you look at Article 248, clauses 1 and 2, that one states that if you are contesting the district level election, you must come as an individual and should not use the emblem or logo of any political. That will also, there are consequential amendments that Parliament can do that on behalf of the people because they are non-entrenched provisions.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so one more thing.
Okay.
With the referendum, with the issues, I mean, Electoral Commission has come out with the colors, where if you are in favor of allowing political parties participation in the district level elections, the color is yellow. That is yes. Okay. But if you are not in favor, the color is dark brown, and then you vote no. So we are urging all Ghanaians that district level elections are critical. People should show interest. That is where we have amenities at the local levels done. So we should get interested. And the national referendum also, we are seeking the citizenry, our views on whether to allow political participation by voting for the proposed amendment of Article 55 Clause 3. And the rest will be left to the parliamentarians.
So these are two options, yes or no?
Yes or no.
So you are definitely going to get a 50+1?
Yes, that one is not 50+1. For the referendum, Article 294 states that the issue being referred to a referendum, at least there should be 40% turnout.
There should be a 40% turnout.
And out of the 40%, 75% must vote
like
in
the
favor.
regional creation.
Yes, must vote in favor. So 40% turnout of eligible voters. And out of the 40%, 75% must vote in favor.
Vote yes.
Yes, must vote yes before it can hold. So we are urging all Ghanaians, if you are interested, I mean, show interest. I'm not saying if you are interested, get involved and participate in electing your assembly member, unit committee members, and then vote on the national referendum issue of whether you are in favor of allowing political party participation in local level elections or you are not in favor.
So if you don't get the 75%,
it means the status quo will remain, that political parties will be barred from participating in local elections. There are questions that come up that people say that what about if people do not vote for the referendum and the Parliament even amends Article 2431 and takes the power from the President and gives it to the people. It means we will let our MMDCs on non-partisan basis.
Okay.
That is going to be the effect. Okay. Yes, on non-partisan basis.
Right. It's been a very enlightening conversation. Thank you very much, Joyce Afutu, for joining us. She works with the NCCE.